Always are here in big numbers.
The Kettle Club is live and bouncing in the student area.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They're
to see.
used to coming here and having a good time.
It's great. It's one of the main reasons why this program has been so good for so long. Just incredible fan support for the Zags.
And they've had a lot to cheer for over the years.
San Francisco, though, has the ball first. These two teams met just last weekend. The finale of the regular season was at the Chase Center in San Francisco. And Gonzaga was dominant in that game. Barry Wong shoots a long three, and a long rebound goes out of bounds off of the Zags. So San Francisco keeps it.
One of the things that the Dons did a great job last night was their offensive rebounding. They dominated the glass in that game against Wazoo. Don't know if they can dominate tonight, but if they keep it close, it gives them a much better chance.
Look at the starting five with no Marcus Williams. Sean talked about it right off the top. Now, he was their best player down the stretch. He's had a great San Francisco career. They're hoping that they'll clear him and he'll be back if they can get to the postseason. Man, good defense from Ben Gregg. Terrible shot. And now Gonzaga has it for the first time. Ike goes backdoor to Nembhard. Usually it's the other way around, and Nembhard came up short.
He kind of just short-armed it a little bit. The good pass by Graham Ike.
Graham Ike's kind of expanded his game as this season has gone on. We're seeing him take a few threes, and he's got a pretty good touch from the outside, trying to defend Tyrone Riley, and he did. I say Riley, that's Lingard, the big man for San Francisco. Now Ike got good position and was fouled from behind. Head coach of the Dons, third year on the hilltop, Chris Gerlofson. He's done a very nice job with some big shoes to fill.
He's been great. I mean, you go from Kyle Smith to Todd Golden to now Chris Gerlofson, and the program continues to move in the proper direction.
They just keep piling up wins. The thing that is missing is beating Gonzaga. They've lost to the Zags 32 straight times.
And what was missing before that? Beating St. Mary's. But they did that this year.
They did. The only conference loss for the Gales was on the road at San Francisco. Here is Ryan Beasley. Well, I guess the ankle's feeling okay.
He was limited to only 9 minutes last time these two teams played because of the ankle injury that really looked very bad. And there were some question marks of whether he was going to go. Chris Gerlofson told you that he was well below 100%.
Yeah, not close to 100%. Ben Gregg answers with a bucket on the other end. So that's the first two for Gonzaga.
They might want to guard Ben Gregg because they didn't guard him at the Chase Center.
It almost looked like it was by design last weekend. They just let Gregg shoot it. He scored 23 and was probably the best player in the game. Beasley pulls up for the two, and Ryan Beasley's come to play for a second straight night.
As I said off the top, he has to be above 20 points again tonight for the Dons to have a chance. And it's back-to-back shots for him. You see him getting a rhythm. Once he usually gets that rhythm, really hard to break.
Nolan Hickman goes by Beasley, had his shot maybe partially deflected there. So San Francisco on the move. Beasley will get it back. He looks like a confident player here in the first couple minutes. Oh boy, here we go.
7 straight for Ryan Beasley. Somebody forgot to tell him you're not supposed to go set a career high and then come out the next night and just absolutely fire away.
This is a pretty remarkable story. Ike, meanwhile, just bullied his way in, and he gets the basket plus the foul.
So strong.
He is.
He buries you on the post up and gets such great deep position. Watch the way he just sets up, and as soon as he gets there, one dribble, boom, both feet in the paint, good strong balance underneath.
And you kind of feel for Carlton Lingard, who committed his second foul already, so he has to come out of the game. It was like he just got overwhelmed. You sort of ask yourself, what's Carlton supposed to do there? Ike converts the free throw. He's a good free throw shooter.
Use your foot speed. Get into like a three-quarter denial. Meet him earlier. Don't allow him to get that deep.
Yeah, good point. Because once he gets to that spot, you're toast.
Yes.
And maybe you're better off just letting him score once he gets there. James O'Donnell has to come off the bench early. Riley, dribble drive. Ike helped out. Here's Malik Thomas, who really hadn't touched it yet in this game. Thomas elevates. That shot no good, but a foul on Ben Gregg. So San Francisco getting on the offensive glass. Sometimes you see that with those late shot clock kind of heaves where you get an awkward carom, a weird rebound.
Well, you just got to go after it and try to go get it. You know, I mean, to beat Mark Few in this building is not an easy task. Beat Mark Few anywhere, not an easy task. He's on the ballot for the Naismith Hall of Fame.
And he's getting in. He is a Hall of Fame coach, no doubt. Now, a foul against Battle. So, a couple early fouls against Gonzaga. Ryan Beasley, I was there at the Chase Center, and it happened right in front of our position. And I thought, well, he's not going to play for the rest of the year. It was ugly, the injury. He wore a boot all week, didn't practice all week. Came out last night and played better than he ever has. His brother Robbie Beasley is in the game for the first time. He also played well in the quarterfinal win last night. That's a little jump hook from O'Donnell, in and out, no good.
The key always is defensive transition. The Dons have got to try to make this a half-court game and not allow easy looks.
Gregg for three, short. Well, they did get a late contest on that one. Thomas had it knocked away. Here's Ryan Nembhard in the open court, throws a lob at Battle. Had it intercepted, but Nembhard got it back. Ike will find Battle. Three-pointer left side. Good!
When he is good, the Zags are really good.
He's had a crazy year. Some high highs, some low lows. He's got a lot of athleticism. He
can fill it up, but he can also shoot you out of it sometimes.
Beasley, a little hesitation move. Hickman, nice play. Nolan Hickman, and then the foul committed by Beasley. Now Hickman hit the floor hard, and he's holding that left arm, left elbow. First team all-conference player, veteran on this Zags team. Hopefully that's a good sign that he's feeling all right.
It's physical, it's champ week, guys getting after it, trying to make plays. He just loses his balance and slams down on the elbow and immediately reaches for it. It's fighting early, scrappy here in Vegas.
Touches of black. They stand for elegance, refinement, and though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Rain, make it rain, girl, make it.
Apartment 2B?
2B! She's definitely using that Grubhub deal from Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Amazon Prime member, you can get $0 delivery fees on Grubhub. Eligible orders only. Terms and additional fees apply.
We took our fan favorite Little Caesars Crazy Puffs and made them even better with bacon. They'll make you say, whoa, crispy applewood smoked bacon. Whoa, delicious cheddar cheese sauce. Whoa, there's 4 of them. Whoa, only $3.99. Whoa!
They look delicious in slow motion.
The new bacon and cheese Crazy Puffs for only $3.99 at Little Caesars. They taste like whoa.
Pizza, pizza.
It starts in darkness. And then suddenly, out of the darkness, energy. Beans ground, milk froth. Shots pulled, espresso shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking 10 times, no more, no less. This is the story of coffee and company. The Starbucks you love is ready. Hello again.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team. All right, second game of the night here in Vegas in the WCC semifinal number 2 seed Gonzaga with an 8-7 lead over Ryan Beasley, who scored all 7 for the Dons. This was just this past weekend at Chase Center. Look at that right ankle buckle. I mean, and he went down in a heap and was on the floor for a good long while. He did get up, jogged to the locker room, never came back in the game. He was trying to tough it out. It was grisly looking. And we just didn't know, is it possible just a few days later, is he going to be able to get out on the court? Well, he answered that emphatically last night.
And then tonight, 3 for 3, 7 points already. Look at his average for the first 17 games. He's already beaten that here tonight. He had 29 last night in the quarterfinals. He needs Malik Thomas to get involved here, too.
He does.
Malik Thomas only 1 shot attempt. Zone here from USF. They'll go to this out of timeouts. I like it.
And they just didn't guard Ike.
So does Gonzaga.
Yeah. If you're going to play zone,
you got to rotate quick with urgency.
Yeah, that's not going to work. Graham Ike's thinking, keep doing that. They blitz Beasley and reach in.
Let's go back that zone and how they were able to exploit it. This is where Graham Ike is. Watch him as the ball rotates. Freeze it on the catch. Malik Thomas, you have to be here. This does not bother you at all over here. But instead, you stand in the middle of nowhere guarding nobody. And Graham Ike gets an easy dunk.
That foul, by the way, was against Ben Gregg. So right away, he's got to go to the bench. That's his second personal in the early minutes. Here's Thomas. Huff in the game for the first time. Shot clock down to 4, down to 3, down to 2. O'Donnell doesn't realize it.
Well, one of the 2 guards have got to come and get the ball. I mean, literally come and grab the ball out of your teammate's hands, and you know you have to go. Can't have your bigs standing, beyond NBA three-point range with the shot clock getting down under 5 and nobody coming and helping out.
Turnovers already an issue for San Francisco, and the Zags are on an 8-0 run. Nemhart beats Huff, who's such a good offensive player. Double team got the ball out of his hands. Innocenti, after the skip, came up short. And I think the Dons would live with that shot.
There are guys out on the floor right now, and Innocenti is one of them. Not a great scorer. You can help off.
Beasley missed that 3. Got a good look. Here's Huff down the lane. Huff, too strong. Thomas grabs it. You're right. Malik Thomas struggled big time at that Chase Center game. And he's just
dribbled that away. It just got further and further away from his body.
Yeah.
The turnovers are starting to really add up, and that's going to be a problem.
Ajayi, nice catch. Ajayi gets fouled.
You have to value the basketball. If you turn it over, a lot of times you're in a mismatch situation in transition. Gonzaga is as good as any team in the country in transitioning to find open looks. And this time Ajayi gets the foul. Ajayi, for people tuning in for the first time, maybe haven't watched Gonzaga a lot. First team all-conference in the WCC a year ago. Not for Gonzaga, but for Pepperdine. A great scorer, great rebounder. Has really struggled this whole season in finding his role and how he needs to play in order to be successful. There's been flashes and moments where you look at him and you say, first team all-conference caliber player still. And then there's other times where he's just lacks a little bit of that productivity that I think a lot of people anticipated he was going to bring.
Yeah, he really hasn't been shooting the ball well. He misses both of his free throws. When you and I have seen him really helping this Zags team, flying all over the place, hitting the glass, he's a great offensive rebounder. O'Donnell faked the handoff to Robbie Beasley. Now gives it to him coming in the other direction. O'Donnell, another one of those little jump hooks. I don't know if that's what the Dons want on their offensive sets. Here's Battle in transition. No. San Francisco's offense, those early shots from this guy, Ryan Beasley.
He's the only one that scored.
And his brother cut to the baseline. He flipped it to him, and it went out of bounds.
Dave, he is 3 of 4 shooting. The rest of the team is 0 for 6.
Yeah, and as that goes on, the attention of the Gonzaga defense is only going to focus even sharper on him. Somebody else has to pitch in.
Compound that with 5 turnovers already. And they're fortunate to be in this game. And Gonzaga's shooting just 36% at the start of it.
Ajayi lost it. It's out of bounds, and who's it off of? 3 officials. Everybody got tied up. They're going to say San Francisco ball. .26 to go. Don's offense is just ground to a halt. Benabosi, freshman, attacks against Huff. Missed it, though. And it goes right to Wong, who dunks it home.
In the right spot. Gets his hands on it, able to finish.
Ryan Nemhard, beautiful little pass, and then Huff just fell down. Loose ball, jump ball. The arrow favors Gonzaga. So they'll have it when we come back. And speaking of, when we come back, the commissioner of the West Coast Conference, Stu Jackson, is going to join us, talk about this event in Vegas right after this.
Make it rain, girl, make it.
Apartment 2B?
2B. She's definitely using that Grubhub deal from Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Amazon Prime member, you can get $0 delivery fees on Grubhub. Eligible orders only. Terms and additional fees apply.
It starts in darkness. And then suddenly, out of the darkness, energy. Beans ground, milk froth, shots poured, espresso shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking 10 times, no more, no less. This is the story of coffee and company. The Starbucks you love is ready. Hello again.
We took our fan-favorite Little Caesars Crazy Puffs and made them even better with bacon. They'll make you say, whoa, crispy apple wood smoked bacon. Whoa, delicious cheddar cheese sauce. Whoa, there's 4 of them. Whoa, only $3.99. Whoa.
They look delicious in slow motion.
The new bacon and cheese Crazy Puffs for only $3.99 at Little Caesars. They taste like whoa.
Pizza, pizza.
All right, under 12 to go. First half, second semifinal tonight in Las Vegas. Gonzaga with a 10-9 lead, the 2 seed against the 3 seed. San Francisco, Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham. Stu Jackson, nice enough to come courtside and join us here for a few minutes in the midst of this WCC championship event. It's been a great tournament so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has on both the men's and the women's side. It's just a lot of exciting moments, some upsets. You know, just some memories that people are creating here, and it's been nice to see.
Women have had a couple buzzer beaters on their side.
Yes, they have, and you know, for anybody that hasn't watched women's basketball, it's as fierce as, you know, anything you're ever going to see, and I'm so impressed by the skill level that's developed, and you know, it's just been fun to watch.
Talk about the conference overall this season. Obviously, St. Mary's, you know, wins the regular season title. Gonzaga well positioned for the NCAA tournament. But the depth of this conference, a little bit different when you have Oregon State and Washington State join the conversation.
Yeah, it's afforded us a different kind of strength. You know, Sean, I mean, this year we had 21 Quad 1 and Quad 2 opportunities for our schools, which has never happened in the history of the conference. I mean, we're one of 4 conferences that has, you know, 2 teams in the top. Oh boy, yeah, I got excited about that myself.
Did you see that?
Yeah. But, you know, we're one of 4 conferences that has 2 teams in the top 20 in net, and the other 3 conferences are the Big 12, SEC, and the Big 10. So we're in pretty good company, and it has been a very good year.
San Francisco trying to recover from an incredible dunk from Michael Ajayi, and Tyrone Riley, the freshman, all-freshman team in this league, hits a 3.
Yeah, that'll quiet the crowd.
A lot of
the Gonzaga people.
A lot of good young players in this league this year. We've seen Mikey Lewis for St. Mary's. This was the play, though, Commish.
Take us through it.
It may be better the second time around. I mean, you know, Michael Ajayi is a very good athlete. Looks like a drop step there, and Boy,
great athleticism.
Poster child.
Well, you know, that's what I talked about earlier. First team all-conference player a year ago for Pepperdine. Those are the kind of plays that he was making on a consistent basis. Now, one of the things Dave was just talking about, the young talent, the recruiting. We saw Mikey Lewis in the first game and how big he's been all season long. Austin Rapp from Portland in the season he had. How encouraging is it for this conference moving forward?
You know, it's very encouraging. You know, we all know we're in a different era, and it's incumbent upon, you know, those schools to make sure that they're ensuring that these athletes stay. But, you know, listen, the WCC has always had very good talent, young and old. And, you know, it's a conference where, you know, we produce many NBA players, and it looks like with this young class of players that, you know, we're headed in that direction again. So it bodes well for us.
Over the backboard, Ajayi missed the three. So the Dons have sort of bounced back after a cold spell on offense. They have a 2-point lead. We're talking to the commissioner of the WCC, Stu Jackson, who also is serving on the men's basketball selection committee. I'm not going to ask you about specifics of that job, but it takes up a lot of your time this time of year.
It does. It's definitely like a second job. And, you know, you have to, you know, make some sacrifices. And one of the ones that unfortunately I have to make tomorrow is I will miss our championship game.
Wow.
Because in the morning I'm flying back to Indianapolis to join the rest of the committee for, you know, 4 or 5 what I understand will be grueling days selecting, seeding, and scrubbing teams. But boy, I'll tell you, it's what an honor it is to be a part of that committee. You know, it's, to me, there's no greater committee in the NCAA than the men's basketball
Beautiful
committee.
ball movement in transition once again by Gonzaga, staying with that super conferences. I mean, so many teams. And a layup answer at the other end by Malik Thomas. Fantastic back and forth. I'm going to get to my question in just a second, but look at the ball movement here. Graham Ike gives it up, gets it back, and quickly delivers the ball to Michael Ajayi, who ran the floor brilliantly. And then Malik Thomas, who they desperately need to get going for USF, attacks the hoop and takes the lead right back. But to the question I was going to ask, super conferences. A lot of teams with a lot of quad one opportunities, losing records. The landscape has changed with the implosion of the Pac-12. How does that impact how the committee looks at all these teams?
Well, I don't know if the conferences themselves, you know, drive that. It really is all about your resume, who you play, where you play, and how they did. And when you have that many quad one and quad two opportunities, just inherently you're going to build a pretty decent resume, even if you have a losing record within those mega conferences. But the fact of the matter is that the body of work of those teams, in many cases, validate their participation in the tournament.
Another great transition from Gonzaga. Nolan Hickman hits the three to put the Zags back ahead.
Too many turnovers right now for the Dons. They've just been careless with the basketball, and that allows Gonzaga to get in the open floor.
Here's Thomas for three. Left side, it's good. So he's gotten it going. That's so huge for the Dons. He was the leading scorer in the regular season in this West Coast Conference. First team all-league player, had a great year.
Talk about a player that's had a great year. Ryan Nembhard, who's at the table and about to check into this game. You know, 10 assists per contest. You know, leads the nation in assists per game, and it's such a key component to the Zags. As a former coach, as a player, as an executive, how much do you love watching Ryan Nembhard and the way that he approaches it?
Well, I love the way his approach, but I like his skill a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched him develop as a player at Creighton and finishing here at Gonzaga, but his ability to really tempo a game, right? And when I say tempo a game, he has the ability to basically control pace of his team and essentially the game. He does not turn the ball over very much, and there are very few decisions he gets wrong from a passing standpoint, and that's what I really love about him.
I mean, that's the last 30 years. That's a short list of players who've averaged 10 assists for a full season. Last time these two teams played last weekend, Nembhard had 16, tied the all-time single-game record for the Zags against his San Francisco team. And Michael Ajayi has provided a very nice spark off the bench for Gonzaga. Back up by one. Last moment or two here with Stu Jackson. Nice enough to give us some time here in Las Vegas. Ryan Beasley short on the jumper. Ike just so strong. And here is Nembhard. What a pass. He just threads the needle like nobody else. Ajayi draws another foul.
When he's at his best, this is exactly who Michael Ajayi is.
Yeah, he's been a difference maker in this first half. He'll be going back to the free throw line when we come back to Vegas. Commissioner, enjoy. I don't know if enjoy is the right word, but you got a lot of work this week. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, but it's a labor of love. And, you know, to the both of you, I mean, just great work on behalf of the WCC. Such a great job that you do, and thank you.
We really appreciate it. Back right after this.
She's definitely taking advantage of the Grubhub deal from Amazon.
That's why I keep running into you.
Amazon Prime member? You can get $0 delivery fees on Grubhub. Eligible orders only. Terms and additional fees apply.
Your life is pretty smart. But when it's time to eat, suddenly you feel out of sync. Refresh your routine with Factor. Chef-prepared meals delivered with a tap, ready in 2 minutes. Eat smart with Factor.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
We took our fan favorite Little Caesars Crazy Puffs and made them even better with bacon. They'll make you say, whoa, crispy apple wood smoked bacon. Whoa, delicious cheddar cheese sauce. Whoa, there's 4 of them. Whoa, only $3.99. Whoa.
They look delicious in slow motion.
The new bacon and cheese Crazy Puffs for only $3.99 at Little Caesars. They taste like whoa.
Pizza, pizza.
It starts in darkness. And then suddenly, out of the darkness, energy. Beans ground, milk froth, shots poured, espresso shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking 10 times, no more, no less. This is the story of coffee and company. The Starbucks you love is ready. Hello again.
Well, you just heard the commissioner of this league. He's headed to Indianapolis to go into the bunker and get ready for Selection Sunday. We got you covered on Sunday, starting at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific.
He's not in a bunker. He's in a very nice hotel with a very nice room. Lenardi is the only person we put in a bunker.
No windows, no fresh air, barely any food or water.
We throw scraps in every hour on the hour.
Yeah, big.
Here, Joe, take some of that.
Thick steel door.
Nobody even knows where it is.
Well, Mark Few, the intensity of the soon-to-be Hall of Fame coach. He's watched this guy come off the bench and be a big-time performer in the first half. Ajayi, and he's gotten the stroke at the free throw line after 2 misses. Already 9 points for Michael Ajayi.
Ajayi's been great. I mean, just they talked about it. Like, this is who he can be. And when he's like this, Gonzaga's a better team.
Don's ball down 2. Three-pointer right side. Nolan Hickman missed it. And San Francisco with the ball. Dons trail the Zags by 2. Second semifinal of the night in the West Coast Conference. Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham, the big man Carl Lingard hits a 3 for San Francisco. And the Dons go back up by a point.
Playing shorthanded without Marcus Williams. We talked about that last night, but suspended, not able to play right now because of eligibility issues. So hoping to get that cleared up. But the guards of San Francisco have been really strong so far.
Yeah, playing without maybe their best player and hanging with the Zags. Loose ball poked away. So that's a second straight turnover for Gonzaga. Tyrone Riley's also been good off the bench, the freshman. Benabozi had a wide open three, goes behind the back. Riley, no.
Really good pass, though. Good feel and awareness of where Riley was.
Here's Ryan Nembhard.
That's off of Nembhard.
I thought it was off his hip, yeah. Officials get together, and a rare turnover for Ryan Nembhard.
He drives. Watch the ball just get stuck on his hip.
Good job by Ryan Beasley. Now, Beasley, for those of you who are just joining us, it's a really gruesome-looking ankle injury just last weekend against Gonzaga. We didn't think he was going to be able to play in this tournament. He played last night, had his career-high 29, got off to a great start in this game tonight. 3 missed that time for San Francisco. And Ryan Beasley's also become a much better defensive player as the year's gone on. Ike, a little pass fake against a guy with a couple fouls, but he missed the shot. And now Ajayi commits the foul, going for the loose ball. One semifinal already in the books. We had an incredible story this week in Las Vegas. The Pepperdine Waves, after a 4-win regular season in conference play, got on Mo Odom's back and were amazing.
He was sensational. Double-double every single game until tonight. Set a tournament record for most assists.
Ajayi gets a nice ovation as he comes out, but in the end, 4 games in 4 nights and up against the top seed and the team that won this excellent conference by 3 full games. St. Mary's was just too much for Pepperdine, so their Cinderella run comes to an end. The Gales will play in the championship game tomorrow against the winner of this game. Thomas, good shot fake, got Nembhard in the air, but kind of hung in the air too long and missed the shot.
It's going to be a foul against Gonzaga.
Yeah, Ismaila Diani just came in the game. He's an interesting story for the Zags. So a foul, the 6th against Gonzaga in this first half. After this, on both sides, everything will mean free throws. Diani, big man who's hardly played all year, but down the stretch gave Mark Few some big-time minutes.
In particular, the first half of that game at Santa Clara,
which was a really important win for the Zags. Saba Gigiberia, speaking of.
That's another foul.
Yeah, that was 2 in a row.
Right.
The Gonzaga fans aren't happy with that call, but he fouled him.
I mean, I don't know why they're booing.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious.
If you're wearing black and white stripes, the fans just aren't going to like you, period.
Dave, as soon as he got the ball, all he started doing was just reaching and grabbing.
Yeah, that was obvious. And Gigiberia, also a guy who hardly played during the year. It's very similar stories, different experience level players.
Right.
No good on the free throw.
A little short.
Just a little. Dons, though, do lead by 1. Playing without Marcus Williams, first team all-conference player. Huff on the baseline.
Man, he's got great touch. I mean, Huff comes in the game every single time, and it's just like he gets those balls. It's quick release. He's on balance. Just lofts it right over the top of the rim.
He is a great offensive player. Beasley over to Wong. Elevates for the 3. Got it.
A 3-point shot has been pretty good for San Francisco so far tonight. 50% from deep, 5 of 10. It's the reason why they have the lead.
Yeah, they need more of it, too.
Gonzaga's not a great 3-point shooting team this year.
I think it's been really their Achilles heel, and we have not said that over the years very much about the Zags. They've had some great shooters. Huff, he can shoot it from the outside. Nembhard right back to Huff. Here's his 3. No.
Drop coverage by the Dons, which means they're giving up space to the bigs on those on-ball screens. That pop is going to be available.
Got to make him pay at some point for that. Here's Thomas. Back to Wong. He's going to shoot another one. Barry Wong. And Mark Few calls a timeout.
They're trying to switch the on-ball screen, and then it's causing them to be a little bit late in their recovery. And because of that, when you're a little bit late, that means you're giving up a little bit of a wide open shot. And a little bit of a wide open shot tonight for San Francisco from beyond the arc means it's going down. They're 6 of 11 from deep, and they've got themselves a 5-point lead here in Las Vegas.
This combo meal's got combinations. Make this thing your own creation. Entree, drink, and choice of sides. Oh, and it's free to swap fries. BK, have it your way.
Ring, make it, ring, girl, make it.
Apartment 2B?
2B. She's definitely using that Grubhub deal from Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Amazon Prime member, you can get $0 delivery fees on Grubhub. Eligible orders only. Terms and additional fees apply.
Ring, make it, ring, girl, make it.
Apartment 2B?
2B. She's definitely using that Grubhub deal from Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Amazon Prime member, you can get $0 delivery fees on Grubhub. Eligible orders only. Terms and additional fees apply.
We took our fan favorite Little Caesars Crazy Puffs and made them even better with bacon. They'll make you say, whoa, crispy applewood smoked bacon. Whoa, delicious cheddar cheese sauce. Whoa, there's 4 of them. Whoa, only $3.99. Whoa!
They look delicious in slow motion.
The new bacon and cheese Crazy Puffs for only $3.99 at Little Caesars. They taste like whoa.
Pizza, pizza.
So, we doing this?
If we do, there goes moving to Paris.
We were never moving to Paris. We got this.
We're buying a house.
We're buying a house.
Let's buy a house.
Order a croissant. You'll feel French.
I do like croissants. Just donuts, fancy cousin. Can I get a croissant, please?
Presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Las Vegas, Nevada, the longtime host of this West Coast Conference Championship. And how about the Dons in these last few minutes on a run? 6-0 run in the last minute of gameplay. 29-24, they lead the 2 seed. One last spot in the championship game available. San Francisco had a really good regular season. 24 wins overall, 13 wins in conference play. Lenardi's got them out. They've been a team.
Are out.
They're out. They've been a team, though, that's put themselves in the conversation. Here's how you get in. You win tonight and you win tomorrow.
Well, you win tonight, you're 40 minutes away. And everybody in the nation's watching and going, is there going to be a bid stealer? Because there's no bid stealing if Gonzaga is playing St. Mary's tomorrow night. Both teams will go into the NCAA tournament.
Every bubble team player, coach right now is pulling hard for the Zags. Little two-man game, another assist for Ryan Nembhard.
Sean Miller is getting ready for the Big East tournament going, come on, Gonzaga.
Hey, because if the Dons are in, that's one less spot for those bubble teams.
Xavier's played really well down the stretch.
Very long. I don't know about that one. I know he's been hot making shots. That was a tough 3.
The ones he's made, though, has been uncontested, not contested.
Huff again from Nembhard, but the shot was blocked. It was Robbie Beasley who got up there and blocked the shot.
The rotations have been pretty good defensively for San Francisco. A good job by their guards coming back in, rebounding the ball. That time, Robbie Beasley blocking the shot. Robbie Beasley made some winning plays last night. The stat line wasn't going to jump off the page at the end of the night. Only 6 points, but a lot of those points came in moments where they needed it.
Ike back in, hands it off to Nembhard. What a combo those two have been over the years. Nembhard's a little off with his shooting.
He is. And the Zags are off a little bit offensively. One of the more efficient offenses still in the country.
One dribble and a dunk for Gigi Beria.
A complete breakdown on the back line of the defense for Gonzaga.
Yeah, that is not going to make their head coach happy. Now a turnover. Malik Thomas against Battle. Thomas rejected by Ajayi. Now the Zags battle, and they're going to call
offensive foul.
I don't know.
They call offensive foul?
I think they called a block. Then there was a chance that there was a goaltend. Count the basket.
So block and count it.
Wow. What a big call that was.
Caleb Battle wants them to review. What do you want to review? You got the foul and the basket.
Yeah, he was out of the restricted area. Gigi Beria, I guess they'll review whether that actually was a goaltend.
Yeah, it was. It hit the backboard.
Yeah.
This should be a really quick review. It's a one-looker.
We always count on our guy Marcus Pettigrew to do the quick one-looker and make the call.
I like the one-looker. The ball hits the backboard right there.
Yeah.
And then he pins it.
Can't do that. It wasn't going in, by the way.
No. Now, but it is kind of, here's the honest, though. It's coming off the iron and is going away. If he grabs that with two hands, it's a rebound. Now that I'm looking at it, Dave.
You weren't looking at it before?
Well, I was looking at you, gazing into your eyes. But you know, you look at it first look and you say, okay, well, it hit the backboard, so therefore it's automatically a goaltend. However, when it comes off the rim like that, it's bouncing away from the basket. If he goes up and grabs it with two hands, it becomes a rebound.
Okay, so a little more nuance to this one. It was close in terms of block charge, too.
Not a one-looker.
Yeah, not a one-looker. It's a multiple looker.
It's the multiple looker, exchange out officials, bring the third guy in, then have a convention, talk it over, grab some Starbucks, figure it out.
Okay, they are going to count the basket. So Brooks Wells, one of those officials, is coming over to give Sean a little clarification on that one. We might have a little rules debate between the two of them while Gonzaga gets to the free throw line.
So here is the discussion point.
Yes.
Because, and we tough to see from our angle, they have different angles, right? If any part of the ball is above the rim, whether or not it's going in or not, it's goaltending. They said maybe an inch of the ball was still above the rim when it was contact.
So you don't see that very often.
No.
Maybe we learned a little something. We learned Caleb Battle, he never misses free throws. That is very rare. I say never. Not literally, but almost never. He might be the best free throw shooter in college basketball.
Malik Thomas was looking to curl that, and the pass took him away.
Crossover. Fall away three. Got it.
I'm not saying it's the same, but Santa Clara beat Gonzaga in Spokane, hitting three after three after three. St. Mary's, to win this game, has to continue to shoot like they're doing it right now.
Yeah, the Dons have made 7 of them with still 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. What did Santa Clara make, 18 that night?
Almost all of them by Tyree Bryan.
Ike, a blow-by, scored with a foul.
Well, points in the paint, a big advantage for Gonzaga. So right now, you look at how this game's playing out. The higher percentage shot usually is in the paint. Graham Ike, nice job showing. I don't know why you lift from there. Stay on your feet. Stay low. Instead, you lean forward. You allow him that seam to drive and finish with his left hand. But 18 points in the paint of the 30 points scored in this game for Gonzaga.
True contrast in how these two teams are getting their points. Ike makes his free throw. Lead is down to 3. This series has been lopsided, doesn't describe it. San Francisco, the last time they beat Gonzaga, they've had a lot of good players, a lot of good teams in that time. It was 2012. They've lost 32 straight times to them. Fighting hard here. Robbie Beasley, no.
Ajayi getting on the glass.
That's been a factor in the first half. Battle pulls up for the 3.
Too strong.
Way too strong. And that long rebound leads to a run out. Back to Thomas. And out of bounds. Off of Thomas. No foul, just a turnover.
Defensive transition. Nemhard just slaps that one away.
That was close. He got some arm, too. Got away with it. Maybe that's his birthday present. It's his birthday today.
Maybe that is.
Okay.
Well, that could be a delay of game, by the way. Swiping the ball out of Riley's hands, coming back into bounds.
Yeah. You get a warning for those. Now Beasley.
This is a fun game.
Really fun. Final minute and a half. Wong's going to shoot another one. He knew it was too strong. Followed his own miss. Ball goes out of bounds. Saved in by the Zags. Ajayi just flings one up, but Gigiberia knocked it out of bounds.
Lucky because they did not have numbers there. Ajayi would have been better served to pull it back out. Look at the back cut And Riley had no awareness of where Nolan Hickman was, and just an easy pass to Ryan Nembhard, who finishes.
So back and forth we go. 1 point lead for the Dons. Zags ball, inbound play. Hickman missed it. Wow. Great play. Just didn't finish.
You want to get a good look on this possession. And Coach Burleson actually going to call a timeout. I like the timeout because the last two possessions have been a little bit unsettled. One in transition, one in the half-court set. A lot of things have gone right for San Francisco. Very rarely, though, do they go to the break with a lead over the Zags.
This combo meal's got combinations. Make this thing your own creation. Entree, drink, and choice of sides. Oh, and it's free to swap fries. BK, have it your way.
Ring, make it, ring, girl, make it.
Apartment 2B?
2B. She's definitely using that Grubhub deal from Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Amazon Prime member, you can get $0 delivery fees on Grubhub. Eligible orders only. Terms and additional fees apply.
2 to go first half. Very entertaining half. High-level game here in the WCC semifinal. San Francisco playing without Marcus Williams, but still playing well. Up by 1 with the ball out of the timeout.
Here's the thing. At least 3 out of the last 4 games between these two teams, San Francisco has played well enough to go to the half with the lead. And in almost every single one of those games, those 3 games, they have not executed in the final minute and gave Gonzaga the momentum going to the break.
And it does matter, even if the score is close. Those swings have really hurt the Dons. So this feels like a big minute for them. Malik Thomas pulls up at the free throw line. Came up short. They got a pretty quick look, so that counts as a 2 for 1. They should get another opportunity. Nembhard jumper in and out. Crashing the glass, though. Ajayi keeps it alive. And now what? A foul against San Francisco.
Yeah.
Double bonus time. So I would say that sequence did not work out very well for USF. Miss the shot, give up the 2 free throws. You're still not guaranteed to get the final shot of the half. And Graham Ike, he makes his free throws, man.
He does. He's been an emotional player throughout the course of this year. A lot of times that emotion is positive, sometimes it's negative. But his connectivity to what they need him to do, he comes up and shows up on a consistent basis.
Well, if you're watching in a week and a half or so and your team gets matched up against Gonzaga in the tournament, you better have a big man who can guard the low block against Ike.
Welcome to the Kennel South.
7-0 run here at the end of the half. The Zags are doing it again. Innocenti, good defender against Ryan Beasley.
Yeah, here comes the screen. They didn't set it.
No, not a good screen at all. Beasley went the other way and hits the 3. Big shot. Here comes Hickman. Hickman is going to float and in and out, no good. Ike put it back in, but that shot doesn't count.
That's been the opposite of what we've seen in so many of these matchups. It's San Francisco because of Ryan Beasley's